welcome to the Onyeka Nwelue show. I have in the studio a very, 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 very strong personality of jazz music, and I'm a lover of jazz as I am the organizer of the Diplomatic Jazz Night. His name is Kunle Ayo. He's one of the finest jazz artists in Africa who has incredibly produced album for Hugh Masekela. He has 6 albums and a lot of gospel projects and 2 live DVD recordings that were recorded in South Africa. He's in the studio, and I didn't mention that he's Nigerian. So it's shocking for a lot of people to know that not all the Nigerians are criminals.
Thank you.
So this is one of the best. And how I got to finally meet you, not heard about you, no, I've heard about you before. I was being bullied into meeting you by a man called Mr. Sakamoto.
Okay.
Sakamoto was the cultural attaché of Japanese embassy in Abuja.
Okay.
So he kept telling me about Kunle Ayo. That he said he came to South Africa and you guys met. Yeah?
Yes.
Tell me how it's been for you as a public figure in South Africa, who is also Nigerian. What are the challenges?
All right. My background to coming to South Africa was I was signed to Universal Music in 2002, and at the time in Nigeria I was working with Lagbaja. So I had to take the leap of faith to say, okay, you know what? These people have given me an opportunity to explore my talent as an artist. And I came here, and it was not nice at the beginning. It was really stressful because there were no predecessors for me, as it were. There were nobody had already been here to, lay the groundwork for people to understand that yes, you can be from anywhere, you can go anywhere else, you can migrate to anywhere else, and be, do good and do well at what you do. So I remember going to my doctor. I've said these stories a million times. I remember going to my doctor one of the times when I was sick, and the doctor said to me, did I bring him something to?
Wow.
Medical doctor. He said to me, did you bring me drugs for me to? I said,
wow.
Why? He said, no, because you're Nigerian, because Nigerians were known to be drug lords. And that was in, I think 2003 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So that for me, my first show, somebody said, why would this Kwere be the one to close the show? It was at Newtown. And I'm talking about colleagues they've become friends now. But at the time, they didn't know me. So it was really tough, That was the first time I heard the word Kwere. That was the first time I heard, the doctor saying to me that my people are into drugs and all that. So over time, people then started realizing that, wow, this guy is for real. He's legit. He's good at what he does, and by the grace of God, 5 years down the line, a couple of accolades, couple of awards, couple of collaborations, couple of trips around the world, helped the society see that Kunle Ayo is actually a great artist by the grace of God, and so it wasn't very easy at the beginning, but time, told the story, and of course, effort and one's diligence into what I did kind of opened those doors. I remember meeting Kirk Whalum, and actually I met Kirk in America, but when I remember meeting, it was first Dave Koz and Jonathan Butler. It was Dave Koz. Before I met Jonathan, it was Dave Koz. And then I was in America in 2008 for holiday, and I went to Dave's office. And then he said, no, come to the house. So I went to his house, and he said, by the way, you should meet Jonathan. And so I met Jonathan in his house, and it was amazing, That was my first time of really getting close to him, and it was beautiful. And then he introduced me to Kirk, and then 2000. Kirk Whalum, saxophone player. Kirk Whalum, the late Gerald Veasley. Who else was on the tour? It was Jonathan, Kirk, and I think it was late Gerald Veasley on bass. So they were doing a tour in America, and I happened to go to one of the shows, and he connected me with them. So when Kirk now came this side, we became quite close, and I had the opportunity of featuring him on one of my records. So South Africa has been really, really good. South Africa has been good to me and for me, but the beginning was tough, really, really tough. But thank God we are here now, and God is helping us.
I'm very envious of you. And this is because you worked with Lagbaja.
Yes, I did.
Did you ever see his face?
I don't know what you're talking about. Lagbaja is Lagbaja. What you see is what you get.
So you don't want to tell us.
What you see is what you get.
How was it working with him?
It was whoa. Now his manager, who behind the scene was about the music and all that. He really taught me the business. That was where I really learned the business of music. I remember in Costa Rica, we went on a tour and we were doing Brazil and we went through Costa Rica. Which other country was
Lagbaja was famous in Costa Rica.
It was big everywhere, you know, in 99, 98, 99, 2000, 2000. And, you know, Lagbaja was quite big in those period. And I remember how people responded to me, to him. And, you know, one memory I would never forget was once somebody brought me a bouquet of flowers to say, oh, your music was great. Your performance was beautiful. And that, you know, I went to him, I said, what is this thing? And he helped me to understand that, listen, you are touching the soul of people when you perform.
Lagbaja said this to you?
Yes.
When he said it, did he remove his mask?
No, I'm talking about Lagbaja. Lagbaja never removed his mask. So he said to me that, listen, when you perform, you touch the soul and the heart of people. So don't take it for granted. It is not just, you know, anything or everything you can just do anyhow. So that is why one of the reasons why I take my business seriously. And as much as it is a very playful craft, yet it is, you need to take it very seriously. And that is why my motto today is I don't play, you know, to the people. I play with the people, because it is about carrying the people along. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, Sonia Mbele was saying that the first time I saw you perform, you captivated my heart. And that is what I want to hear, because...
Single girl or single woman?
I think she's not married, but I think she has a boyfriend. Are you looking for a girlfriend?
No. My problem is that once men are famous,
yeah,
you have all the women that want to marry them.
Well, with women, it's not about marrying them all the time. It's not just about marrying. It's about because if you do well at what you do, women are drawn to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Married or single, they just like, you know. So if they are now single looking for, they believe that, oh, this is the epitome of a husband, you know. So
exactly.
They go for it.
Yeah.
They go for it.
Have you had any sort of experience with women?
Ah, come on. I mean, this is our business. We do it. Happens every day. Even with the ring, they still come. Single girls still.
How do you tell them no with the ring?
No, the ring is just for them. It's like, okay, it's there, but they still want to try. Maybe you are not happy in your relationship. Maybe so they have that hope that maybe you would leave that one and come and be with me. But you know, we make it clear that, listen, I'm very, very happy. You can be friends, but beyond that, sharp, I'm good.
How many instruments do you play?
I'm privileged to play a little bit of everything. I play drums.
What do you mean everything?
So I play drums. I actually started as a drummer.
No, because me,
yes,
I lived in Mexico and they have more than 10,000 musical instruments.
Okay. So in Africa, yes, we have a lot of instruments. However, there are about 5 major. Underneath that drums, you have other sets of underneath the bass, then you have other, you know. So I play majorly all the basic instruments except for sax. I tried learning saxophone, but I don't like it. It doesn't just go with me. Somebody gave me a sax. I remember.
You must be in awe of Louis Armstrong.
I love people I admire people that play saxophone. I love people.
So
that
did
play
you
saxophone.
teach yourself?
Yes, I'm self-taught. I'm an accountant by the virtue that I went to school. That's my degree.
What school is that?
I went to Ilaro, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my HND there, and then, but you know, for me, I left music. I left accounting because the passion that I have for playing instrument was just too much, and I pursued it totally. And then 2002, I came here, you know, played with everybody. But 2005, I started finding myself wanting to go into production. You know, when I go into a studio, I'm like, I want to have something like this. I want to be able to help somebody create music. And that was where my dream for being a producer came, into being. And I haven't been a producer for a few years. You spoke about Hugh Masekela. Before Hugh Masekela, I've worked with Judith Zipuma, I've worked with Gloria Bossman, and all the great names, even Oliver Mtukudzi, the late Oliver Mtukudzi from Zimbabwe.
I'm very jealous of you. All my dreams, you just took them to reality.
But your picture here, this
No,
are the
but
people.
I really struggled. I only met Oliver when he was playing in Harare. He was on stage and I was in the audience, so there was no relationship.
Oh, wow.
But I love building relationship with good people,
Yes.
talented people.
Yes.
So I'm jealous from Lagbaja to Oliver to you. I think you're going to become. This is not to make your head swell, but you're going to become the kind of public figure or creative figure that people will always aspire to be.
I hope so.
To know around.
I hope so.
And I think it's important that we also discuss how you are going to help nurture the next generation of African musicians and make them realize that it's important to play musical instruments.
Yes.
Because now what we have is the mimas, playback.
Ish.
Yeah. So what are you doing about that?
All right. So I started a project in 2018 called Beam the Light, and basically is looking to train young artists. So we have talents in Africa, huge talent. But what we don't then have is the ability to understand what our craft does for us. So we're trying to then help them manage women, manage money, understanding that the fact that you're on stage and people are screaming for you, that doesn't make you a demigod.
Exactly.
Where you're then, lose, as it were. You still need to comport yourself, you need to tell your head where it should be, and it happens with the right structure around them. So that is what we're trying to put together. We did the project in 2018. It was beautiful. I had Oliver, I had Ringo. I also produced Ringo, by the way. I had Ringo, I had Klengiwe, I had a few other great artists on the project, and these young musicians came because my target is to look for musicians that play instruments. We want to make sure, and hopefully in the near future we'll have a school.
What did you call the name of the project again?
Beam the Light.
Beam the Light.
Beam the Light.
Okay.
Beam the Light.
We'll go on break. When we're back, we'll talk about Beam the Light. Welcome back to the Onyeka Nwelue show. We're still here with Kunle Ayo, Africa's finest jazz artist. And we were talking about Beam the Light. So we want to know if you have openings for young musicians to come to you and say, Kunle Ayo, I want to work with you. Because there is what they call inferiority complex, which is disturbing a lot of young people.
Yes.
So they need to go through other people. They'll be like, this guy, his CV is so big, I don't know how to approach him and all that.
Yes.
Like I remember giving an artist your contact and he said, talk to him for me now. I'm saying, no, take his number, meet call him, he will not bite you. How are you going to, your public presence, how are you going to manage it to not scare young people away from coming to you to work with you?
I've been privileged to, a lot of people come to me on Facebook and they are very surprised that I respond. Even on WhatsApp, I talk to them. So this young man approached me on Facebook and I gave him my number and he was very surprised, like, what? So he didn't know me. He now went to Google Kunle Ayo. When he came back, he was crying, he didn't believe it. He said, what? You are that person that, And I said to him, I mean, what do we have that we cannot? So I'm not that person that, people say, oh, big. I've met big people. I want to be big one day. But right now, I'm in the process of, building my career, as it were, to an extent where I am an international icon. And until then, I'm not there. So I told this guy that if you want to play guitar, this is what you should do. And so because for me, I'm passionate about, instrument, like, talking about artists being able to play an instrument. And one of the guys we were talking about earlier, he also said to me he wants to learn, but you have to be serious. I always tell them, yes, you have to be serious and be patient with yourself to be able to grab the instrument. You know, in America, how do I say this? Somebody selling something in the supermarket, just a, you know, even a janitor, he plays one instrument at least. You know why? Because in school, they teach them. Either you
Really?
play piano. Yeah.
I'm not aware of that.
Yes, either, you know, they definitely take an instrument. So it's either you play piano, might not be dexterous, but you're able to. In Africa, we don't get that because, you know, our educational system is what it is. So, I mean,
what do you mean it is what it is?
It is what it is, you know.
Well,
The challenge we have.
I don't know, tell me.
The challenge we have in Africa. I mean, people go to school, a 4-year
Just
course.
because they want to.
Yes.
They went to school.
Apart from that, even a 4-year course takes you 8 years to
8
finish, and you don't have those vocationary things. I believe in our days we had a little bit. We had to learn. You know, we had music as part of the subjects. You know, I went to Baptist Academy before I finished in Sakatinubu. We had a music teacher who would teach us. You know, I remember we did French. We did. These days, I doubt if they do those things, except in private schools. And I'm talking about a public school. Baptist Academy was a public school, but we had that. So I think the educational system is not growing, as it were. So it is a challenge. So then, when you see your child do well in, you know, probably wanting to play instrument, please encourage them. Take them to a school or something, so that we can grow the talent in Africa. It's not just about singing on Trace TV or MTV Base and being hip and all that, but being grounded in the knowledge of music. It's really, really crucial. And that is what Beam the Light seeks to do.
Okay. Do you have any new work coming out soon?
Yes, I do.
What is it called?
I don't have a name for it yet, but I'm working on a new project. Actually, I'd recorded the album with Nduduzo Makatini, who's a fantastic piano player. But at the time when we recorded, I went to East London because he lives in East London. He's a lecturer at the university there, so he couldn't travel much. So I had to go meet him, and then we wrote the songs, and it was very organic in terms of, you know, the approach. But when I came back, I think it was 2017, 2018, I realized that who is my market, Kunle Ayo's market? Who are the people that love Kunle Ayo?
Who is your market?
Exactly. So I realized that it's people that just love good music. People that from the age of, say, 20 to 70, people that love smooth African music. And that is what I do. I am not a straight-ahead bebop guy.
Are you ever going to do any collaboration with Seun Kuti?
I would love to. Seun, I mean, I met Seun long time ago when he was a young man growing, and he was close to T-Mac, because I'm close to T-Mac.
Yeah.
So I used to work with T-Mac, and he used to come around.
Strangely, T-Mac is close to T-Mac.
He told me he's close to T-Mac. I was surprised. I was actually trying to call T-Mac to say, hey, I'm with your boy.
T-Mac hasn't been able to teach people how to play the flute.
It's not very easy because also time but I realized that it's always good to, if you can, you know, get a school. I want to own a school where I'm able to teach everything. I might not be the teacher, but I'm able to put the system in place and, you know, oversee that everybody's learning what they need to learn.
When is this happening?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know how it is. Right now, we're all still busy trying to make things happen and trying to, you know, balance life and you know, public, whatever it is that we're doing. So, but one day, it's one of my dreams to own a school. I don't want to own it because for business, no. You know, I want to do it because as a philanthropist, just to encourage young people to come and learn.
So back to Seun Kuti, I would like to hear more because he's one of my closest friends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
I once went on tour with him in Europe.
Nice.
And it was the most beautiful thing. And then one thing I also found out about him is that he's an avid reader, a great reader. So each city we went from Paris to Amsterdam, from Amsterdam to Brussels. He will stop at a bookstore and buy books and then get on the tour bus and we'll continue. Nice. And he will read them. Wow. And then he has this great fascination with Big Bang Theory, the TV series.
Yes.
So I find him I find his intelligence quite intensive, you know, and I haven't met much musicians like him.
Yeah.
who are articulate, who read a lot.
Yes.
The ones that I meet, when I meet them, I don't read books, and they expect me to be happy. They expect me to be happy. A writer.
Exactly.
You're telling a writer, I don't read books. No, you expect me to buy your music.
But you don't want to buy
Yeah, what if I say, I don't listen to music?
Exactly.
It's going to hurt their emotions.
Exactly.
So I don't know where you
my
land.
stand is.
Now,
I love books actually.
Okay.
I love books. Because of my time, I'm one who is always in the studio. So I do more audiobook. I love listening to audiobooks. And when I have a chance, I would then, maybe if I travel or I'm not in the office, then I read books. I love books. I have a few nice books. But it is not my biggest thing, because of it's clashing with my.
Does it give headache?
No, it's the time. I love to read, but the time
to read book.
Bro, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I
time to
do.
read book.
That's why I love audiobooks. I have a lot of books on my phone where I'm listening.
And that is even where we're different, because I don't listen to audiobooks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. You rather read, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is interesting.
This is what you do.
Very, very interesting. This life, no balance. I just say, because I come to a point in my life where I've realized that some people like what you don't like, and you don't like
what they like. Yes.
And this is where it all makes sense. But I would really love to know the structure of your new work. Is it an album?
Yes,
or
it is.
Album?
It is an album. I mean,
how many songs?
12 songs. I've released 2 of them. I collaborated
Features?
I collaborated with.
Names.
Well, not big names, but there's a guy in Spain, one of our boys. Is it Spain? Yes, I think it's in Spain. Adedeji is in Spain. And then another young, fantastic saxophone player. Adedeji is a guitarist. The other guy, Olu Jazz, he's in America.
I know Olu Jazz.
Yes. Yeah. So we did a song called...
Oraminyo.
Romeo.
Yeah, he did a song with Onyeka.
Okay, I don't know him. I'd like to. I'd like to
He's
check
a
him out.
Canadian-based Nigerian musician.
Ah, okay. Romeo. Okay. I like to.
What is your take on Onyeka?
I love Nneka.
Why are you not collaborating with all these people?
Well, you are here now. You're going to make it happen. You're going to connect us. I don't know.
Oh, but you see now, you would have just sent your boy a message since and said, "Oh God, do this."
Now we want to do that. I would love to collaborate with Onyeka. I would love to with Shea.
Yeah, because sometimes I wonder why you haven't been able to collaborate with those people too. You have done with the big guys.
Yeah.
The bigger guys.
Yeah.
Right? So you should also do with these ones.
Yeah.
That somewhat they're now structuring into the mainstream.
Yes.
Because it's funny that Ashana has gone mainstream in Nigeria.
Yes.
Because I went to 2 of her concerts and the halls were packed.
Yes.
So, when are you going to Nigeria to do a concert where people who love pop music, jazz music, Afrobeat will come and say, "Hey, I want to sit here and watch this man perform"?
Okay. I've had the privilege of doing or being part of shows in Nigeria that.
I mean, where you have Kunle Ayo in concert.
Yes.
Only you.
Okay, so there was a show that Smooth FM put together. It was me, it was Bez.
No, I mean only you.
Yes, I'm telling you. About
Okay.
That one. So that one then opened. That show opened my eyes to see that people love pop, jazz, and good music.
But do you think they have the money?
Yeah. What are you talking about? To pay to come and watch the show?
No, I mean the mainstream. You know, if the video is going to the beach to perform.
Yes.
There are some that have to pay 1.5 now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Jazz music, they don't give people options of 1,500.
My brother.
It's millions.
It is very possible. Nigeria, we can, if we can get a hall that sits at least 10,000 people. If you tell them it is 50,000 naira, they will pay, bro. People that, the problem with Nigeria is that people that listen to radio, mainstream radio, they're not the ones that necessarily love jazz. Now, how then do we find those people? If I'm going to do a show in Lagos, it has to be word of mouth. I'm not going to depend on radio to get the people to come and see my show. So I need to then, maybe through certain people that I know, okay, Onyeka loves jazz. Onyeka, please help me tell all your friends. I'll find somebody else. That is the only way I can pack a 10,000 seat.
Anyway, I think jazz music is elitist. It's for
Extremely.
It's for the rich.
Extremely.
And that will bring us to the end of my show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
This is the end of Onyeka Nwelue show. Keep reading.